Okay, guys, we are on I-95 North, headed through Jacksonville, Florida, and once we pass Jacksonville, we'll pretty much be out of the state of Florida. This is the northeast section of Florida. To the right is the Jacksonville city skyline. And Florida has four major economic hubs: Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. Those four major metropolitan areas are kind of like the arteries of Florida. And so most people kind of live within an hour of those major metropolitan areas because that's where the economic drivers are, that's where the major infrastructure is, etc. And they're all different. You know, Jacksonville is different than Orlando. Orlando's different than Tampa. Miami's different than all of them. So Florida is a big state by landmass. And most of Florida is still agricultural, raw farmland. So a lot of people don't realize that, and I've done videos of that. But either way, as we head north here on I-95, it's a landmark that we're getting ready to leave Florida, and it makes me feel a little bit sad because I love Florida. To me, in my opinion, it's the best state in America, but that's just based on my opinion. But it is the warmest state in the winter in the United States of America, and that's why it's one of the most visited states in America and in the world, and just has a lot to offer. Has still relatively affordable housing, of course, depending on your area. It continues to develop economically, and now with remote work, it's become a haven for people to make their home base. And then they may still have family outside of Florida, but because Florida has no state income tax, because it has great weather, because it has great infrastructure and great diversity, many people decide to come here. And so have I. And that's kind of one of the drivers that started my channel, you know, was to get out of New Jersey, to reposition my life in Florida, and figure out it from there. But either way, like I say, it's a little depressing leaving, but it's encouraging knowing that I'm coming back. See, when I was visiting Florida and I wasn't sure how long it would take for me to get back or how long it would take for me to be able to get a remote job transfer, it was very depressing. Especially when I would visit Florida in the winter and then have to go back up north in the winter. You go from like 80 degrees to, 20 degrees. Oh man, that was so depressing. So I'm very grateful and focus on that, on the trip north, focus on the things I have to be thankful for. And if you're on a journey to reposition your life, whether it's in Florida or another state, I encourage you to do it because time passes no matter what. So start now and refine it as you go. Liquidate first, research, secure a job, and slowly pivot to your new location. But like I say, there's a lot to be said for people who fear to move to a new area because it is uprooting your life. It is leaving behind some family, some friends, depending on your circumstance. So, moving is not easy. Coming to a new environment's not easy. Like I say, what I learned traveling the United States is that, and I mainly travel up and down the East Coast of America, but how hard it must be, for immigrants to come to a whole new country and know a whole new world. And for some people, it's hard to go from a new state, from Pennsylvania to Florida, or from, Idaho to Arizona, right? So, how much it takes for the human to change environments. But for me, it was relatively easy from the standpoint of I was so inspired with Florida. I wasn't delusional that I thought Florida would fix my problems. I had a good life before I came to Florida, good habits. I already got my life together financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So, a lot of people, Florida becomes a negative for them because they're depending on Florida to change their life instead of changing their life and Florida enhancing their life. I believe that if you like warm weather and if you do the research, Florida can enhance your life. But it will not change your life. Only you can do that. You have to take the steps physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. And you have to do some things a little bit scared. You don't get from where you're at to where you want to go without two things: putting in the work and having some faith to overcome fear. I remember the first time I drove from New Jersey to Florida. When I got to South Carolina, it felt like I was never going to get to Florida. I did it in one 24-hour period, which I learned now you take breaks, stop periodically, make the trip in a couple days. But when I got to South Carolina, I was so close to turning around and going back up north because I felt like I was never going to get there. I was coming alone. I was scared. I didn't know what I was, I kind of had a general idea of what I wanted to come to research, but it's scary doing things alone. And a lot of people struggle because one is a lot of things in life, if you don't do alone, they're never going to get done. And if you're with someone else, it's also never going to get done because two people, very tough for them to have the same objective. And that's what holds people back a lot of time in life and builds up resentment and anger. Even now, when I go up north, if it wasn't for my mother, probably not, but me and my mother, we give each other freedom. She's not pressuring me to go up there. I'm willingly going up there. If I was pressured, look, the relationship would be different. You have to give people freedom. But for me, traveling up north, it just makes me reflect on all these things I've been through. And I know many of you are in a point in your life where maybe you are at a crossroads. And whether you want to go north or south, how do you pick a location you want to live? Well, weather, climate's number one, culture's number two, economics number three, and researching and being patient number four. And those are some general parameters. But like I always say, make sure you visit several times, different parts of the year, before you even consider buying anything, because you want to know what you're getting into. But like I say, you got to push yourself a little bit in life. There's a lot of people, they want to travel in the winter, they want to change locations, change that. If you don't push yourself, if you don't push past fear, I don't care how intelligent you are, you're not going to get it done. Intelligence matters. I'm not going to undermine intelligence or knowledge or research. But I also know there's a mental and emotional, psychological issue that the further you get away from your familiar setting, even if you don't like it, the more you fear and the more faith you need. And many people go back to something they're not inspired with, whether a relationship or a physical state, simply because the further they get away, the more they fear, and they don't give it time to develop. And they may not have good habits, so then they go running back to whatever they left, So, but for me, life's not worth living if you don't have a level of inspiration and you don't enjoy where you live and the life you've created. Like I say, a vacation is for people who don't like the life they live. For me, going on vacation here to go visit my mom, while I'm thankful and I love going to see my mom, it's almost like a nightmare because I hate leaving the life I built in Florida. But, like I say, everything, but I'm thankful I position my life also with flexibility, okay, with simple living, etc., where I have that option. So I want to encourage you to get out there, use your knowledge, use your faith. You got to do stuff. You got to get it done. And you got to start where you are, start now, and keep going. And before you know it, time passes. 5 years now almost I've been on YouTube, and I've been living in my car, and I did this whole move from New Jersey to Florida. I've done this trip on I-95 back and forth several times during the pandemic, before a pandemic, now after, kind of like the pandemic. And what I've learned is there's a lot of cars on the road, but most of them are not, I don't know, most of them, I don't know if they are driving to a place that inspires them or they're driving away from something they hate, Most people are just commuting. The majority of cars on the road are just living their daily life. Like I say, your life is your daily routine. And that's why your job in life is to create a daily routine that inspires you. Because if your daily routine doesn't inspire you, a vacation is going to depress you, because your vacation will end in a few days or a few weeks. But either way, now as we get ready to cross over to Georgia, you see the sky gets more cloudy, the vegetation less tropical, and it gets very depressing. So this is not an exciting drive. It's exciting coming back to Florida, but not going back up north. So either way, I will enjoy some of the fall weather when I eventually get up there, try to make the most of my trip, spend quality time with my mom, which is very important in life. And hopefully out there you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, click that thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click that blue join button. I'm still going to try to go live every night like I always do on this channel, upload a video every day, God willing. Leave a comment below, put me in the algorithm of success. Share my video, watch the playlist. Why? We're pumping out content and we're giving you information, inspiration, motivation, and sweat. Okay, because some things in life ain't gonna get done if you don't sweat. Okay, and I hope for you, your best life wherever you're at. Take care of your health, number 1. Take care of your finances, number 2. Take care of your relationships. 3, everything. Okay, and thank you again for watching. I'll see you next video. Peace.